Hello everyone, my name is Divyarani Prasad and I'm back, finally back after a long time with a video which was supposed to be made a few months ago I guess, but I got busy and I could not post. So as promised, I'm going to cover the syllabus for SSB PGT. I'm going to cover it briefly, but I'm going to give you an idea, the strategy, how I prepared it, the important writers, important dramatists, important works. That is all I'm going to share, which actually helped me, and I hope it helps you too. But it is not like you just have to stick with what I am telling you. You can also do more research about the same. Okay, so in SSB PGT syllabus, the first topic that you're supposed to cover is Elizabethan drama and Jacobean drama. Okay, so I'm going to start with Elizabethan drama. So if you are acquainted with English literature, you're definitely aware of Elizabethan period, which was a golden period, which is also known as Renaissance. But the term Renaissance means the revival. Okay, revival of art, literature, culture and everything. Okay, that happened during Queen Elizabeth's reign. All right, so it was a period between 1558 to 1625. Okay, and then the Jacobean period begins. But today we are going to discuss about Elizabethan period and only the drama part, and I will do it part by part. Okay, because we cannot cover everything in this one video, and I will be covering the major dramatists, their major works, which you are supposed to do, like you have to go through it thoroughly. Okay, but I'm going to give a brief preview of the same. Okay, so let's start. You first, what you have to do is, what I did during my preparation was, first I got an overview of Elizabethan period. So I will give you a link which you can follow, which you can, a video of from YouTube which covers Elizabethan period, so that you get an overview. Okay, and then what you do is you look for the important writers, important dramatists in the same period. That is what I did, and you will get to know about the dramatists named Shakespeare, Ben Jonson, Christopher Marlowe. All right, and there are so many university wits. These are the most important figures in that period. All right. So first we should get to know what drama is. Okay, the drama is supposed to be performed. It has 5 acts and then scenes in each of the acts, and drama is classified into tragedy, comedy. Okay, so if someone asks who's the father of tragedy, you will name Aeschylus. Okay, there's Aeschylus, Sophocles, Euripides, and for comedy it is Menander, Aristophanes. He is popular, he's known for old comedy, he's known for, as the father of old comedy. And Menander, okay, he's known for new comedy. And then there's Seneca. Seneca is known for revenge tragedy. Okay, and then there were miracle plays, mystery plays, morality plays. Like miracle plays, those are based on the lives of saints. Okay, and then mystery plays, these were based on biblical events, like biblical events, and they were played on festivals. Okay, in a cart. Okay, the cart used to move around the city in cycles. Okay, and it covered like creation to the day of the judgment, creation to till the day of the judgment. And there were 4 most important cycles known as Chester cycle, Wakefield cycle, Coventry cycle, and York cycle. The York cycle was the best one. Okay, And then there were morality plays. It was based on Christian themes like life, death, goodness, love, like the good angel, bad angel. You must be aware of that now. This dilemma, what I should do, if what I'm doing is right or wrong, like in Dr. Faustus. Okay, there were these two angels who were trying to lead him towards a path, but he chose the wrong one. Okay, and that led to his destiny. Okay, led to his suffering. Whatever I'm mentioning now, morality plays, mystery plays, you should be aware of it. You look it up. Okay, I'm just giving the brief details, so you have to look it up. Okay, on Wikipedia and YouTube. All right. And the most important morality play was Everyman. Okay, Pride of Life. And then there were interludes. Interludes are the humoristic scenes played between the acts of a play. These are called the comic reliefs. Okay, when there's this drama going on, some tragic drama, so in between they would perform these interludes which would bring comic relief to the audience. Okay, and the most important, most popular interlude is Four Ps, that is written by John Haywood. So the four Ps are for pardoner, palmer, peddler, apothecary. Okay, and the story was the best liar should most prevail. Okay, that was the thing. You should go through the story. It is all on Wikipedia. If I go through the details now, this video will never end, which is why I'm just mentioning the terms. You just note it down and do your research. Okay, and there was another interlude named The Play of the Weather. Okay, but the first tragedy which was written in Elizabethan period was Gorboduc, or Ferrex or Porrex. Okay, it was written by Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton. They have written it together, and the story goes as Porrex is the younger son of the king Gorboduc. Okay, and Ferrex is the elder one, and they both want to take over the throne. Okay, and there they have a fight in which Porrex, the younger boy, kills the elder one, his elder brother. He kills him, and this furiates the queen. The name of the queen is Videna, and she avenges the death of her elder son. She kills Porrex in return, and then the country people, what they do is they kill Gorboduc and Queen Videna. And so this is a tragedy, in which tragedy is supposed to be something where in the end by the end of the play, when it ends, most of the characters are dead. Most of the leading characters are dead. Like in Hamlet also, you will see most of the leading characters, they all end up dying. Okay, and there was the first English comedy is Ralph's Roister Doister by Nicholas Woodall. Okay, it is the adaptation of Miles Gloriosus by Plautus. And then there was first domestic comedy. If they ask you first English comedy, you will name Ralph Roister Doister. But if they ask you which is the first domestic comedy, that is Gamma Gurton's Niddle. Okay, all these stories are available on Wikipedia. Whichever work I am naming here, you should go through it. You should look for the detail, for the summary of the work. Okay, about the characters and everything. Yeah, this is it. And okay, the drama in Elizabethan period, what happened is liturgical. It was liturgical in nature. Okay, what liturgical means is that the drama was only performed in churches, but gradually it moved out of the church boundaries and became secular a bit, which means earlier the drama was only based on biblical themes. Okay, but slowly it became secular and reached more common households. Okay, and in 15th and 16th century it began to be performed in yards like pubs, which provided accommodation where you could stay. Okay, courtyards of the inn were used for performance of these plays or dramas. Okay, And the most popular inn was Gray's Inn or Lincoln Inn. Gray's Inn and Lincoln Inn. And do you know who built the first theater? It was James Burbage. Okay, and the name of the theater was The Theater. Okay, it was built in 1576. Okay, and it was based on the ancient open air theater in Greece, which is known as amphitheater. Okay, and the theme of the theater was like amphitheater, which was open air theater. There was this circle in the middle, and there was a space for the audience. Okay, you can look for it. Okay, on Google. And the most important theaters in Elizabethan period was the Red Lion. It was the first playhouse. And then the theater, which was built in 1576, the Curtain in 1577, the Rose in 1587, the Swan in 1595, the Black Friars in 1596, the Globe. The Blackfriars was the first indoor theater. Okay, and the Globe was 1599, the Fortune was 1600, the Red Bull was 1604, and the Hope was 1614. Okay, yeah. And then there were drama groups. Okay, drama groups that played that performed the dramas. Okay, the most popular drama group was the Lord Chamberlain's Men. Okay, so it was Shakespeare's company. Okay, and it mostly performed in theaters like the Curtain, and then they only performed in the Globe Theatre. Okay, and in 1603 it was renamed as King's Men because Queen Elizabeth died and King James took over the throne, which is why it was renamed as King's Men from the Lord Chamberlain's Men. Okay, and then there were Lord Admiral's Men. That was and they were the rivals of Lord Chamberlain's Men, and they were associated with Christopher Marlowe. Okay, and there were Queen's Men. In this was under Queen Elizabeth I's patronage, and it was mostly associated with university wits. You will get to know about the university wits. All right. Now coming to, this was just brief overview about the Elizabethan period, and there's a lot of thing that you need to learn that I will share the link, and on Wikipedia as well you can look it up. Okay, so now coming to the most important dramatists, it was George Chapman, Thomas Dekker, Thomas Heywood, Ben Jonson, Thomas Kidd, Thomas Lilly, Christopher Marlowe, Shakespeare, Thomas Nash, Thomas Lodge, George Peele, Robert Greene, John Webster, Beaumont and Fletcher, Philip Messenger, John Ford, John Shirley, etc., etc. All these names you have to look it up because these are important. Okay, so first coming to Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville, they have written Gorboduc. I have already given you a short summary. Now coming to John Fletcher. John Fletcher, he has written Philaster. Okay, and now coming to the story, the setting of this play, this drama is set in Sicily, Kingdom of Sicily. And here the rightful heir is Philaster. Okay, but the king of Sicily, he does not want Philaster to take over. Okay, Philaster lives as a nobleman, and what the king plans is to get his daughter married. The name of the daughter is Arethusa, and he wants her to get married to Prince Pharamond. He is a Spanish prince, okay, from Spain. And but Arethusa, she loves Philaster, okay, and she disdains Spaniards. She does not like people who belong to Spain, okay. So she does not like Pharamond, okay. And Philaster is also in love with Arethusa. So what he does is he sends his page is like his personal servant or friend kind of a person. He sends his page Bellario to serve Arethusa. Okay, he's like a servant only. So Bellario is sent to Arethusa by Philaster, so that Bellario is the mediator between the two. He can send messages, exchange messages between the two lovers. Okay, so Yeah, so things are going well, but Arethusa does not want to marry Pharamond, and Pharamond is not a nice person as well. He is having an affair with a lady named Megra. So Arethusa exposes him. Okay, and when she exposes him, Paramount takes revenge, and he spreads a rumor that Arethusa is in love with Valerio. Okay, and this infuriates Philaster, and Philaster confronts her, and he's really angry at her. Okay, but eventually. The truth comes out that Valerio is a woman, okay, and her name is Euphrasia. Valerio was in love with Philaster, which is why she was like serving him as a page, in the hope of being close to him. Okay, so the truth comes out, and Philaster and Arethusa get married, and Philaster gets the throne eventually. Okay, this is just a brief one. Go for it. Please look for the summary synopsis in Wikipedia. Okay, and there are a lot of more other information you will get there. Okay, yeah. Now coming to John Webster. John Webster is very important for his work, The Duchess of Malfi. Okay, The Duchess of Malfi. It is set in the story is set in Italy. Okay, and the Duchess, she is a widow. Okay, and she has villainous brothers named Ferdinand and Cardinal. Okay, these two brothers, they don't want her to remarry. They don't want her to be happy in her life. They don't want, because if she stays with them, they can control her wealth and her status. Okay, so they have all the control over her, so she is not even allowed to be in love with anybody. Okay, but she falls in love with her steward named Antonio. Okay, and they have an affair, and the Duchess gets pregnant. Okay, and these two brothers, they are when they are out of the kingdom, out of the town, what they do is they make Bosola. Bosola is a spy. Okay, they leave Bosola behind so that he can keep an eye on the Duchess. Okay, and Bosola gets to know that the Duchess is pregnant. Okay, he discovers the truth. Okay, and then there are a lot of things that go on, and eventually the Duchess dies. Okay, and like all of them die. Bosola also, like when everything is done, Bosola feels bad because these brothers, they were really corrupted, and they were corrupts, and like they had promised him something, and they didn't give her that, which is why he was also like disappointed, and he feels remorse. And at the end of the play, this is a tragedy, everyone ends up dying, only a baby of the Duchess survives, so that he can take care of all the legacy further. Okay, and then John Webster has also written the White Devil. Okay, the White Devil, here white is used for a fair complexion and an innocent face, of a woman who looks beautiful, innocent, and is fair in complexion. Okay, but she is a devil. She does something that is not acceptable by the society, and that is actually a sin. Okay, so the characters are Duke Bracciano and Vittoria Corombona. Okay, Duke Bracciano and Vittoria Corombona, they are having an affair. Duke Bracciano is already married to Isabella, and Vittoria is married to Camillo. Okay, so what happens is, these two, Bracciano and Vittoria, they plan to murder their spouses. Okay, so what happens is, Bracciano kills Isabella, and Camillo is also murdered. Okay, and then there's a trial that happens, in which Vittoria is arrested, but then she gets out. But eventually what happens is, Isabella, Bracciano's wife, was murdered by them. Her brother comes into the play. Okay, his name is Francisco. He's Duke Francisco of Medici. Okay, he takes revenge, and Bracciano is also poisoned, and Vittoria and her brother are also killed in the end. So this is another tragedy. This is again only a brief preview. overview. You can go through it on Wikipedia. I'm sorry I'm saying it again and again because I'm putting emphasis only the important place I am telling. Please go through it. And if you are disliking the video, I don't know, I am making the video after so long. I don't have that professional approach. I guess I'm not doing, I don't know if I'm doing it that well. And the thing is, I take it in the one take, so I might make some mistakes in pronunciations and a lot of things. I might repeat a lot of things, like I continue to utter okay and everything. Please bear with me. And but yeah, whatever information I'm giving, this is definitely going to be useful. You just have to research on it. Okay, now comes Philip Messenger. The Philip Messenger's most important work is A New Way to Pay Old Debts. Okay, so it is set in Nottinghamshire. Okay, so the villain is Giles Overreach. Okay, what he does, he has tricked Frank Welborn and Tom Allworth. These are two gentlemen. These two have been tricked by Giles Overreach, because of which Frank Welborn has lost his land, and Tom Allworth has to like be a page, work as a page to a person, okay, named Lovell. Okay, so what happens is, Tom Walworth's mother has been widowed, but she has some fortune left for her. And since Giles Overreach is a very corrupt, greedy man, he will definitely try to come up with a plan to take that away from her. Okay, so Frank Welborn, he plans to marry this Allworth's mother. Okay, to show them that they are in love. Okay, just to get Giles Overreach in their control. Okay, and they work out a plan. This is a lengthy story. Okay, and this tricks Giles Overreach, and the revenge is taken. Giles Overreach eventually loses, and this Frankfurt and Allworth, they get whatever he had taken back. Okay, now there's Thomas Haywood. Thomas Haywood, he has written this A Woman Killed with Kindness. This is another tragedy. It is also very very popular, very important. Okay, so here Frankfurt, the characters are Frankfurt and Anne. Okay, they are married, they are really very much in love. Frankfurt loves Anne so much, and Anne loves Frankfurt a lot. But what happens is, Frankfurt's friend Wendell, he comes to their house. Okay, there's a backstory as well that I have not covered because I have written on only the gist of the story, and I am telling you here. So Wendell comes into the scene. Okay, he comes to Frankfurt's house, and their servant Nick does not like Wendell. Okay, and what happens is, when Frankfurt is away, Wendell and Anne, they start having an affair. In the beginning, Anne does not like it, she does not want it, but eventually she also melts, and they two start having an affair, and Nick discovers the truth. Okay, and Nick is very loyal to his master Frankfurt, so he plans to tell him. Okay, so eventually when Frankfurt comes back, Nick tells him everything, and what happens is, Frankfurt and Nick, they come up with a plan. What he does is, to catch them red-handed, Frankfurt tells that he again has to go somewhere, and that he is leaving during in the evening or before night falls, and he tells Anne to take her dinner in her bedroom. Okay, while he leaves. And as he knew that he would catch them red-handed, Frankfurt pretends to leave, but after some time he comes back, and he catches Wendell and Anne in their bedroom where they were making love. Okay, and this breaks Frankfurt. Wendell runs away, and what Frankfurt decides for Anne, that she cannot live in their house anymore, and he sends her away. and that she can never see his face again. Okay, and now Anne is really really sad. Frankfurt says, so whichever whatever stuff you need to take, whichever servant is your favorite, you can take all of them, but you cannot see my face ever again. Okay, and Anne is heartbroken because she loved Frankfurt, but she fell for Wendell. Like Wendell charmed her, and when she is going away, Wendell comes to console her, but she gets angry and she blames him for everything. And now Anne tells Nick that tell Frankfurt that I am not going to have any food, I am not going to, like, she starves herself. Okay, and in the end when Frankfurt comes to see her, she was on her deathbed. She had stopped eating or drinking anything, and she dies. So this is why the name is A Woman Killed with Kindness. Okay, these are the most important works, the dramas that are in Elizabethan period. This is not all. We will discuss the university bits. Okay, Ben Jonson and Shakespeare. Shakespeare needs a different video in which I will try to cover most of the important work of his in these brief summaries, because when I was preparing I never found a single video which covered all his important works. Okay, this was very difficult for me, and it would be really convenient if there was one video that capsulated every work of his, every important work of his in brief summary only, because it once you have studied it now, all you need is revision. So a brief summary can also help you revise. Okay, so I'm going to make that one for you all. And yeah, then I will also cover Ben Jonson. There are a lot of things that I have to tell, so I'm really sorry for taking this long. And now I am back, but yeah, it takes time to make notes. See, I have made notes about everything. Yeah, I've made notes, and this is how I'm reading it, because you cannot memorize everything, right? English literature is not for memorization. Yeah, so I'll come up with another video on Elizabethan period only, and till then what you can do is whatever writer, whatever work I have told, please go through it thoroughly. Okay, and yes, since you do have time, you can also go through university wits and Ben Jonson, whatever information, please go through Elizabethan period properly. All right, and yeah, thank you for watching the video. I'm really sorry if I have made any mistakes, and yeah, I'm just trying to help. I'm not that professional, but I'm really happy that you people have liked my content. And yeah, I got posted in Salawala College, and since you know about my OPSC, I was going to post a video on counseling, on the choice making, and a video on blog, or yeah, on Nijukti Mela as well. But since I'm really lazy, I had to shift from Keonjhar to Cuttack, so I was quite busy and I could not do it. And yeah, that's all. Let me know whatever help I can do. Okay, so don't ask me for notes, because I have a variety of notes, books and everything, like material from the courses I bought, so I cannot I cannot share everything, right? All I can share here. Okay, all I can do is share the information here, and trust me, you will find most of the details, most of the important stuff on Wikipedia and YouTube. And there are a lot of things you can find on internet. Whatever that you cannot find, maybe I will share it on on my videos. I'm not saying that I know everything and I have the material for all the stuff, but whatever I have, I will share. All right, so this is all. Thank you so much. On next video we will be discussing Ben Jonson. Okay, Ben Jonson and Christopher Marlowe, I guess. Yeah, and then we will cover university wits and Shakespeare. Okay, only the important things, whatever term I have said here, I have like named here, please note it down and research it. This is the most important thing. If you don't research, if you don't go through it, then there's no use. All right, thank you so much. Bye bye.